Hey, Agassiz, great to see you.
Oh, Mr. Clement, great to see you too.
I talked to your father and I saw your video. I was very impressed and see how you have grown as a student and an artist. It was a long time ago when we started Hokma International Section. You were very young back then. Do you still remember what was school like before pretexts?
Yeah, I remember a lot of things about school. So, in Chinese public schools, most schools are stereotyped as very serious. You had this very organized desk. Everyone was sitting in very organized rows, and we were all staring at one place. The teacher was like a much higher power than us, and we could not disagree with them. The teachers there taught us that there was only one correct answer, and that is the answer to the question. Like on exams, all questions or most questions were always closed-ended questions. There was only one correct answer, unlike pretext, which offered like open-ended questions, which helped us develop more. So that so being in a very close-ended school, right? It has kind of closed down my mindset. You could say that it was for different types of learners. Pretext tried their best to develop open-minded students who try to seek the correct, not just the correct answer. They look at different perspectives.
Right. Well, it's interesting to hear your perspective, and thank you for letting us know your experience back at that time. I remember you left Shenzhen and then went on to study in Amsterdam. Do you want to tell us more about that?
Okay, so studying in Amsterdam, I actually went to, I would say, one of the very notorious IB schools, International School of Amsterdam. Being there at first, it was actually quite easy for me, although I was from a Chinese public school. I think one reason might be because of pretext, because in pretext, we get to challenge each other's ideas. And since I already adapted like a learning mode similar to what they do in official IB schools, it helped me adapt really quickly to the new learning system. And so it has helped out a lot. And in there, that was when I first started acrylics painting. I'll share a bit more later.
Okay. Well, let us know how PTech supported your development as a student and an artist.
Hmm. So for pretext, right? I went to Amsterdam for 3 years, and then after grade five, I came back. And guess where I went? I went to the same pretext class as I did in primary school and met the same people. And so in there, we had a very interesting activity which helped develop myself as a learner. It was reading Animal Farm. Through reading Animal Farm, we used our creativity and our critical thinking a lot. In the end, we had a debate where we all sat next to everyone. It was the first time I had a debate, and through that debate, I learned more about challenging other people's ideas and the evidence that they used to build their claim. And so this really helped me out as a learner, because as a learner, you have to criticize things which are unsupported by evidence, because that's how we are able to develop society. You can't build everything off of theoretical stuff. You have to have solid evidence.
Fascinating. What about your journey as an artist?
Okay, so you could split them as three main stages. Stage one is the free process of creation. And through the free process of creation, I remember I was in kindergarten. Everyone else, they left the classroom to play. And there was only one person in the room, me. I held a crown. I started drawing on the paper. I had like a whole stack of paper at the end of kindergarten because they were all my artwork. And so after the free process, I actually moved to Netherlands. And in Netherlands, that's when I first began acrylics painting. And in acrylics painting, one of my art teachers there, Larissa, she really helped me out. And that's when I began to incorporate my emotions inside of artwork. I started expressing myself more. And though I was expressing myself, I looked at lots of museums. In Netherlands, you have lots of Van Gogh's artwork, Monet's artwork. And so through looking at those, wanted to spread meaning through my artwork. So I tried my best to incorporate some meaning into it. And after that, I moved back to China after the 3 years, and that's when I actually started painting oil painting. And once I got really familiar to the media, I decided that it was finally time for me to spread meaning through my artwork. So I wanted to use art as a podium to spread my voice, spread my message to the rest of the world. And so that's why I created the paintings on autism. There were moments in my life which my family member brought hope to us. And so my development as an artist, as you could see, oh my God, the background is weird. Let me turn it off. So through my development as an artist, this painting was actually created in Netherlands. It was one of the first portraits of my dad. And once I came back, you see there are lots of impressionism. There are lots of influence from impressionism. And then once here, I started experimenting with oil. I tried abstract art. And so this is where I'm at right now. So as an artist, I believe that in China, there are lots of students who are not exposed to art as much in very rural places. And so I decided to act upon that. I went to Guizhou and I joined an activity for a week where basically I had to teach students from grade 1 to grade 5 art. And so that's what I did and I managed to continue that activity for quite a while, around a year. So through that, I have taught lots of students. I've taught them what it means to create art. And so through that, it has helped develop myself as an artist more. So yeah, this is basically my current art journey. Oh, just one more thing. So I'm currently trying to develop my own style, a style that is unique to myself. What I think style is the natural state of how I create art. You know, some people, when they learn art, they're influenced by their teachers to like, oh, this is how you should do it. But like IB, like pretext, it teaches you that there is no correct answer to how you do things. You have to try to think what is right for yourself. We are all different types of learners. And so in trying to develop my own style, I started getting more natural. I found a style that was actually more suitable for myself. Is it all right if I show you a painting I'm currently working on?
Yes, please.
Okay, here. So
Tell
I was
us
trying.
about that. Yes.
We could try another one. This one I'm still writing my intentions, but this one is about the earthquake in Turkey. It was my second painting. And for this piece, so there was a recent earthquake in Turkey and lots of citizens, their lives were disturbed. And I thought to myself, you know, because the time was very close to Ramadan, a special festival they had, which they prayed. And so I decided to use that as my inspiration to create artwork on the cycle of destruction and rebuild and how our faith can help us rebuild society, help us rebuild in general. So in the center, as we can see, there are people praying in Ramadan, and at the side, it's a cycle of destruction to rebirth.
When I look at this painting, it gives me this disturbance, this unpeace feeling. But I also see the bright hope in the center.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's remarkable to witness you since we met a long time ago when you were a very young boy at Yuchai Hokma International section to now. Anyone you want to mention to acknowledge?
There's lots of people I would really like to thank. So first, I would like to thank people who are always supporting me. My dad, and my family, and my little brother. I mean, he is super important to me. But also teachers, people who have played an important role in my life. I would like to thank Mr. Priest. He's the first person to actually buy my painting. I remember a time where one day I went to school, I showed him a painting. Hey, Mr. Priest. And he was like, oh, Agassiz, I would like to buy this. And I said, oh, 150 euros. And so he was like, oh, we're gonna teach you a lesson. So he brought me out of advisory, and then so he taught me a bit on business. He was like, hey, Agassiz, so basically this is how it works. And then he told me a lot of things. And finally, we met a consensus. We sold it at 15 euros. And another person I'd like to thank is my painting teacher, Larissa. She was the person who actually helped introduce me to acrylics painting, and through that I was able to develop so far. And another person which I think meeting him was who's Jimmy? Oh, another person who I think meeting him was a coincidence was Mr. Chung. Why? Because through pretext I actually get to know someone who is a scholar, who's very smart, who has connections. And so he helped me a lot in trying to spread my voice to the public, and which is what I would like to thank him a lot for. So thank you
for letting me to be a collaborator. That's wonderful. I really hope to be part of your journey continuously. And